Welcome to another episode of the SHESELLSWEED podcast with your host. My name is Mindy.
Mine is Jax.
And we have a very special guest with us today. Super excited. We have CP Christina Perpetua here with us. So also known, you'll know her as Chronic Kicks because she got that swag.
You
like
know
that.
she's got the special ones
kicks.
on. She got the kicks.
And the chronic.
And the chronic, that's right. Always with that backpack.
So she's also a good friend. We've known CP for many years. And she is also the senior account executive for Up North Distribution. So, and we'd also like to welcome all of you back. Thanks for rocking with us on another episode. Where we want to thank our sponsors, the Pocket Dispensary and Delta Boys,
That's
for
right.
their contributions to this podcast. Getting up and running, definitely a labor of love. With me and Jax, and we're excited to extend our hearts to our friends that come on and hang out with us.
Yeah.
So, there's just so much education, so much success in the industry for many people. And, I really want to talk about like the good things, right?
Yeah.
Like the positive things and how we can come together and build whatever we're doing in our careers, in this industry.
Well, and I'm happy that CP is our very first guest because she brought us together and she brings everybody together so well. And we are honored to have you for our first guest, CP.
I'm honored to freaking be here for your guys' first guest from, just introducing you guys and like from us, our first meeting. That was even this year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I knew you guys would be doing such cool things together. So to see this is like, wow, this is awesome.
I agree.
And that's the beauty of it. You're out there, you're always networking, you're putting in a lot of work, a lot of hours, just meeting people. And this is a people industry.
Yep.
For sure. Well, every industry is a people industry, but especially in this one where networking is how we've gotten to know each other. But now we have like, we're known now. We don't have to hide in the shadows.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah. How does that feel to like kind of come from, different places, different industries, different kinds of careers, and kind of that feeling of, the freedom. The freedom of cannabis is something that I hear you talk about a lot.
Oh, for sure. I mean, just being a woman, being Filipino, coming from education, coming from the medical field where I constantly had to hide it.
Yeah.
It's great that I can shout from the top of my lungs. I'm in the cannabis industry.
Yes.
I smoke weed.
Hell yeah.
She sells weed.
And I sell weed. Pounds and pounds and fucking pounds.
I always say on my stories and stuff, like, CP the plug. I was
That's what CP needs. She's one of those
I'm a
gold
connector. Like, if growers are about their cultivation, my cultivation is in relationships.
Yeah, that's
So,
beautiful. That's great.
Yeah.
It's needed for sure. So you said you were in the medical and the education industry. What was your first transition into deciding to go into cannabis as a career? Did you sell weed before? Were you like doing little side hustles and stuff, or was
Allegedly.
okay?
Not to kids, dude, but when I was a kid,
Allegedly.
I gotta make sure we were in this correct.
we don't know where this is going now that it's all public and all, but
Well, that's the beauty of it, right?
Of
See,
course.
like that's the
we
beauty
had
of
the
it.
2 for 15s,
Yeah.
and I was like all about that. But
Awesome.
yeah, but not on this scale that I am
Okay.
now. It's
What,
not and where it feels safe too.
How did you wind up getting with Up North? Was Up North the first company you worked for?
In the cannabis industry,
Yeah.
no. I worked for a marketing company, and then I also worked for S-Shots at the same time. I got both jobs at the same time.
S-Shots?
S-Shots was a cannabis beverage.
That's where I met you.
Oh,
we were doing
Yes,
a drink thing.
Yep. So then I was a BA for S-Shots, and then also doing social media managing for like FloraCal, Artisan, Coastal Roots, and then S-Shots too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then you winded up, is that how you got connected to Up North, is doing the BA work?
Yes,
Okay.
because that's why I tell BAs all the time, like, you never know who's coming into the shops. So just always be on your best foot. And like, I got a ton of job offers through that. Just like putting yourself out there, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like a good pathway. So if somebody wants to get into becoming a sales rep, the BA pathway is kind of the best route.
Yeah, because you're used to talking to everyone in the dispensary, and then you're going to hear a lot of no's.
Yeah, you get used to no.
Like, I don't even hear no's anymore.
Yeah.
It's like,
I hear maybe now.
Talk
Just
to you
not
later.
today. Just not today. Yeah, that's what I hear.
Wait till they show up.
They do. They always come around, especially if you're consistent enough.
Yeah, I think
Here, I'm
you're,
gonna pass this to you,
you know,
Miss
you
CP.
have
Okay.
Yeah,
a
we
lot
can
of
do the little-
accounts in your territory, and most of the dispensaries in certain cities carry the Up North distro products. So that's
It's been great to be part of the
it's a
team where
big-
we've been.
Yeah, it's a big, you know, it's a big thing to be able to do that.
Yeah, my territory even expanded. So
So where are you now?
Dixon to Tahoe to Tulare. Hanford.
Tulare, that's like way central Southern California,
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
that's it's a big span.
My
California
little-
right there.
joke, sort of, is when you see a water tower. That's me.
Because she's everywhere.
No, because like Central Valley has a lot of water towers.
Oh.
That's what they have in their cities, dude.
I think it's just the tallest things out there because it's so flat.
Yeah,
It's like you're like,
That's what I'm like,
I can see
We're
that.
gonna see it, water tower.
Yeah, yeah. We have trees where we live, you know.
That's why it's even hotter out there, dude.
Oh, I know. I've tried to move down to like the Southern California area, Palm Springs in particular, twice now for weed to like work down there. They have a big weed scene down there, and every time I just cannot live without trees. And as soon as I get home and I start seeing the trees, I'm like, oh, I'm home.
Right?
I'm getting home.
We
Okay,
need
cool.
trees.
Trees are important, man, for me
Yeah,
at least.
for
I know, some people it's the beach or, they got to live near the beach or whatever. For me, it's trees.
Yeah, nature in general. Just
Gotta
that
be by
view,
nature.
that- Yes.
That's why I say I love living in Sacramento because we can go to the beach, we can go to the mountains, we
Yeah.
can go to the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be surfing in the morning and snowboarding in the evening.
Yeah, and I think, say doing so much, like running that much territory or, doing different things, running multiple different levels of capacity in your brain, you have to take that time to relax. You have to go.
Yeah,
and
you
have
gotta
a
go off the
good
grid.
routine.
Well-
I'm kind of curious, like, what is you have a wellness routine? Like, what is your, thing that you like to do to unwind from all of the,
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. The solo trips because I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to hear any. I don't want to compromise about nothing.
Yeah.
I just want to do whatever the heck I want to do. So, yeah. I do the solo trips out into nature. I love being by the beach. I love being in the mountains.
I feel like that's all something
water.
we all relate on. I
Yeah.
think you and I both, it's like when we got the free time to go, it's like get up early
I'm
and
out.
hit the
Yep.
road. Bye.
Yeah.
I feel the call to travel too. And it is interesting that there are so many different now, networking, right? Like, and that is really important when you're building
We're gonna
things
play
up,
Who Can
when you're
Drop the
entering
Ash.
new places. So different places, like we want to connect with people in the United States. We want to connect with people in the world, in this industry, and see what we can all bring to the table from what we've learned
Yeah.
in our areas.
Yeah, that's actually probably how. So when I was networking around the world, and I'm like, if I could meet people in different countries, I could definitely do that where I live. Because
Yeah.
it's not that Sacramento is small, but I could definitely get around there.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably one of
Yeah.
the most well-known people I know. I mean, I can't go anywhere without somebody saying something about CSP, and never in a negative way. It's just your name gets brought up a lot, so you're definitely a
That's
a
cute.
social butterfly.
I am, but I'm also a recluse and People just,
We'll see.
She's got to cook.
that's my balance, you know?
We feel very blessed when we're around you.
That's
because
awesome.
now
Yeah, I
you're
need that
soaked
alone
up.
time so that way
Yes.
when I am with people, I can,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
I can
that's
be
your
intentional
wellness,
about my
right?
energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's your wellness. You're like, I need to recharge. It's like a battery, and we all have that.
Right.
You know, I'm learning that too, like how to take care of myself better, and you know, like really slow down or eat better, and all these different things. But you know, it's trying to have a better quality of life. I think. And I think that's something that we can all like connect with in this industry is that you know, my cannabis journey is about finding a way to just create a better quality of life for myself continuously and like always learning. And one thing is, you know, we're talking about like bringing the fun into life, like bringing the excitement, the joy. And why wouldn't you, right? Like if you could, like, why wouldn't you walk into this world like with this air of being happy and joyful and positive?
I think that a lot of people get jaded from one reason or the other, right? I think that's a good word to describe it, with being, you know, patient with people. And I think that's the one thing I can like relate on a little bit that cannabis helped me with, is that I was a little bit of a jaded person. And when I found cannabis, it like has taught me how to be a better human, because I've gotten the opportunity to find my value and purpose in helping other people every day, and knowing that I'm making a real impact in people's lives. And then it makes me recognize that like I am powerful and deserving, and like I have worth and value. And I think that a lot of people come into this industry like that, with a little bit of jadedness, and we kind of see that with newer people coming into the industry. They might make weird mistakes or weird social mistakes, and it's like they're learning like that, like, oh, this is a community of compassion and caring, and we don't mess around with those bad vibes. And you bring that stuff around, like it's gonna weed you out really quick.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to be on your toes of who you are, which means that you have to do the work, you know. And so this cannabis, it makes me do the work every day. And I think that, you know, meeting people like CP, you know, for me as a friend, you know, I appreciate you dearly, because I know I'm gonna get a little sappy here, but I appreciate you dearly because you've helped me in this short amount of time, like really be able to open up to somebody and then get really amazing feedback of like, hey, like, this is just, you know, my opinion on things. And I really appreciate that from you, because there's times where it's like I struggle with things, and we've had very deep personal conversations, and I appreciate those greatly, because there's not a lot of people we can have that kind of conversation with. And this is what brought us to that. You know, it's that.
The weed that binds us all
It is.
together, for real.
It really is. It's
a great connector.
the roots, you know, it's all in the roots. They say happy roots, happy fruits, you know? So we definitely become the roots of the industry. And I think that's really, really special. So anyways, back to normal interview. Sorry, I had to get real sappy on the
speechless out here. And then that's what
I really got a lot of
don't
love
make
for
me
CP,
cry.
honestly. I think all of you would agree with me.
Hella love you guys.
It's much love to you too.
For real.
So I guess I have a couple questions for you. Like, what do you think it takes to be as successful as a sales rep as you are? Because I like Mindy was mentioning earlier, back to that topic, we would have to say are probably one of the very best, probably top 10, like, you know, sales reps in the state of California. And we don't say that just because we love you. We say that because we work with a lot of people every day, and there's not many sales reps like you, you know. And so what do you think you're doing special? Yeah.
I try my hardest every day. And so when it's recognized, don't get me choked up out here. But
You got your yellow drink over there?
Yeah, I'm just thirsty, dude.
I told you we were going to go deep.
I know. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, you know, I do try so hard, and I genuinely love what I do and the people I get to work with. And so I think that's the difference in how I work and how other people do.
You love this, not the money necessarily.
Exactly. Yeah. I
think a lot of people go into sales because it's the money.
The money.
Yeah.
And I didn't even, not that I didn't know what sales was going to consist of.
Oh, okay. What was that like for your
I
first
went into the
experience?
industry doing marketing, so I never, not that I didn't see myself like doing sales, because when I worked in a psychiatrist's office, I'd see sales reps all the time and see how they move and see what they do. I was like, maybe I could do that.
Okay.
So that's where I first learned how to do sales, honestly, in a
Just
corporate
observing.
setting.
Yeah, interesting.
And how they move with the doctors and what they do. So and how they talk to them, and yeah,
I think sales can be such a great career path for people if you do it right, and you're with, I think, the right people and the right brand.
Mm-hmm.
How did you like choose what brand was that? Did you think about it a lot, or did it just come, naturally and you just fell into it?
No, so before I was even in the industry, I bought a bunch of different products from all different shops. And that's how I got to be a social media manager, because I would buy the products, make content of them, and post it, tag all the stores in the area that had it. I'd look on Weed Must. So I was already doing some like product research already without even... I made a decision that I wanted to be in the industry. So I was like, I need to know about the products. And so... the brands that I did try, like Up North and Fig Farms, I really loved already.
Yes,
So,
they are very good quality.
And Space Gems even,
Flower.
like before, yeah. And I met them before I was even with the industry too. So it's like, they were cool to me as a customer. So I knew it would be great to work with them already. Yeah, and... the opportunity came up to work with Up North Distro, and I'm so glad they took a chance on me.
Yeah. Where did you start with them?
Where did I?
Did you go straight into being a sales rep?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I started.
Where
out
did
doing
you?
sales.
Where was your territory? Because you said that you
Sacramento.
Just Sacramento.
Sacramento. So it was just Dixon to like Shingle Springs.
Okay.
Down to Merced.
Okay, just a nice little territory, nothing too wild.
Nice little territory, nice chill. Nice, and I'm so cute.
So cute, she says.
And then you just gotta be so good.
Who? Well, it's that good job. I was saying earlier that we were saying earlier. What was your first account? Who was your first account that gave you a chance?
That.
Oh gosh,
Wow. You think you would remember your first, huh?
been so many for you, CP.
I want to say it was Davis, honestly. Yeah.
F Street or
No,
the main stage?
Davis Cannabis.
Oh, okay.
DCC.
Davis. Cannabis
DCC.
Collective.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's why ATA group, dude. I mean, like, I love the ATA
Good
group.
group of people. I know. She always says that. She's like,
I
oh,
tell
there's
everybody.
Mindy in the ATA group. I'm like, who? Who do you? I'm like,
Because
like,
I
what are they?
hella
I'm like,
learned. I learned every single time, and they're just fun peeps. You know what I mean? Like you would be in the ATA group.
Oh, I
Like,
appreciate
you
you considering me the quality of those people.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
like you went to
appreciate you.
that college of weed with them.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
There are some of us. I feel like, yeah, we just really went hard into cannabis. Like it's like we need to know everything, not just a little bit, but like everything.
No, it's important to know
Yeah.
about how it even works in your body, how especially on the retail level, right?
yeah.
Like we are the ones that talk to the customer, so we have to know the best ways in which to navigate people through.
So
I
let me
agree.
moonlight in one of your guys' stores. I need to.
I could let you bud 10.
Anytime.
want to, yeah.
No, it's a great
I
way to learn.
It
And,
is.
like,
I think so.
Starting from, anywhere, even BAs, like you're in the dispensary all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you hear like how, just like listen and be like, what are the bartenders telling the members? What are they asking for?
All right,
And
I'm
then
gonna listen to them.
Yeah, no, for
listen
sure.
and be like, what's up?
I'm gonna do some secret shopping. Watch.
Yes.
I have reps that do that. They'll come in all sly, like they're a customer, and then they'll start asking my bud tenders like weird questions, and then my bud tender will come back there and be like, "This guy's like asking some weird questions. Like, top selling products, and then
then
what do we care about percentages here? And it's just weird. Can you like come help me with him? And then it's like you get out there and he's like, hey, my name's Ryan and I'm selling, Buckaloo weed, and I just wanted to come and check out your store. And I'm like, that's awkward. Like, why did you come in like
why
that?
Why you come in like that? I know. Do you like it better like that, or when they come in and they're like looking for you? Right? Like
I prefer when they come in and I go, hey, send me an email. I'll set an appointment with you, and then I set an appointment with you, and then we have a conversation. Or if you come on the hours that I tell every rep, Thursdays and Fridays between noon and 1 o'clock are open.
There you go.
Just so you know,
she's open.
Just so everybody knows. I got that shit
come out to,
I do feel bad. I appreciate sales reps. You guys are hustlers. You guys are out there grinding every day.
It's hard out here.
Yeah, like how do you
it's
go
hard
into the store and not make it awkward? Because it's like, okay, you gotta bust through. If you don't know who the buyer is.
Yeah, I'm looking for the buyers.
How many do you go back a lot? Or are you like a repeat if people are like, they're not here today?
I'm like, okay, just tell them I come by again.
And you're a repeater, huh? You just keep showing up. Eventually they'll talk to you. See, that's how you win. Just so everybody knows that's how you win.
That's an important quality for sales. Just stay resilient.
Yeah.
Even a no is
no no's, right? Just maybe.
It's like,
that's right.
Unless
there's some no's. There's some no's.
Yeah. Well, it is certain times where, the stores do go through whatever we have on our shelves, and there's a limit to what we can do. So it goes up and down. So you might just hit that point where it's like, oh, we're really looking for that right now.
Yep. Exactly.
So you have to stay persistent.
Because some brands are not going to be around, and they're like, hey, remember us?
Or
we're
like,
still here.
what happens?
Which is exactly
being around years and years and years.
Like, I'm still here whenever you're ready, dude.
It is kind of a crazy world where you hear all these businesses shutting down, and like to be successful in this industry is a big thing, and we do have to celebrate it. And I do think it's because it's people that are doing it the right way, and working and being in this place without the profit over people. It's people over profit versus profit over people, and we see those bigger ones like Ease is just shutting down. Like interesting.
My thought about that is that I feel like a lot of people have the mentality that cannabis is at the point where it's like opening a deli, you can like project everything, and unfortunately you can predict nothing. Like I just had a great conversation a couple weeks ago with another manager, and we were laughing about how we can look at all the numbers we want on the screen, but unless we actually just go look in our cage at like what we have and like what's on the floor and like kind of what we've been seeing in sales, like that's how we can predict it. But to just look at computer information, it's so unpredictable, because what we did last year is we might not be able to do this year for one reason or the other.
Always changing.
It's insane. Yeah. So it's important for that sales consistency for sure, of like checking in with everybody. Because like I just had a guy win the other day. He came in once a week for like 2 months every time. And finally I was like, oh, hey, you're here. Cool. Actually, I do want to buy your product, because I've had a lot of customer demand for something like that. And I remembered you, but I couldn't remember your information because I forget.
It does happen. It was like, okay, perfect.
Yeah. So can I like get an order in? And you're like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. I'll email you my onboarding information.
We're about to be best of friends.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my god.
Well, it does happen.
It really does.
Yeah, but the sales is the most important part for a brand. That drives your revenue. That drives all your income that you're doing. So it's super important to get out there. And I think our industry needs really good sales reps who are organized and they're friendly. Everything is fresh. Everything is on
fresh
point.
samples and very important.
Yes.
I cannot stress that enough.
Samples are important, see?
Yeah.
Very fresh samples. Please do not send me old samples. It happens.
I'd be embarrassed.
Bro.
I'd be embarrassed.
They're like, this stuff's so good. It's indoor, blah, 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 blah. And then I get it back there and open it. And I'm like, this is from February? Like, this is what you're giving me? Like, no, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's already a big issue. It's a thing to have the freshest weed that you can, because it has to be on a shelf. But
that's right.
If you have something that's top quality, and there is that peak where you want that brand to be represented in that right way with that freshness intact when it gets to the customer, nobody wants no crusty, you know, if you're paying a lot of
Exactly.
money for it. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I always say, like, as a buyer, for me personally, like, I try not to look down on people that can't afford top shelf. Let's be real. Like, you buy top shelf because you can afford it. If you didn't, if you could afford it and you weren't buying top shelf, I know there's a few handful of people out there that are like that, but it's very rare. But I think that it's important to try to find like the best of the best in every category. So like even my $20 ace, like I care about that too, because sometimes people come in here and they're like, I have reps that come in and they're like, yeah, well, it's just cheap. Like they don't care. And I'm like, I care. Like I'm not selling that to somebody just because it's cheap. Like
Still spending their hard-earned money on it.
no,
dude,
just like
you know?
our favorite brand that's no longer with you guys. I'm not going to mention names, but you know, like they're one of the better brands in that price category
That's
for what you're
I'd
getting.
always
Like
say
it's,
too.
yeah,
So,
it's
yeah.
like wow, okay, the WR stuff.
Yeah, it's really interesting because
Wide receiver.
the number one like complaint that I get on my Google page is that my prices are so expensive.
Oh.
And we have eighths that are $20 out the door.
Yeah,
But we don't have, and it's not because, you know, I can't cater to that. We'll try to have shake. We'll try to have other stuff.
Yeah.
But I just do not want to sell weed that's not good for people. It's like, I don't want to just sell anything. I want to sell at least, you know, something that is affordable, but yet still good quality. And, you know, it's hard to to navigate when people
Are gonna want
to complain about that.
yeah, it is.
That's why
difficult.
I like with the brands that I am with, we always make sure that if you're going to pay top price, you're going to get top buds.
Yeah.
You're not going to get smalls. You're not going to get something that's not going to smoke well. And
Yeah.
What
have a-
what do you think as a sales rep like makes your job easier with the brands? Like are there certain brands that maybe you sell currently that like they're doing a better job than the others in the way that it makes it easier for you to sell it to the to like the buyers?
Well,
And for them to then in turn
I
sell
was
it to
just
the
asked
customer?
this question by a brand owner today.
Oh, okay.
We'll make it easier. And I'm always like, if you can listen to our comments, I would like that I hear in the field about, because I talk directly to the buyers or GMs about certain things to tweak about the brand, then it will be more successful. So, because I love when brands listen to my suggestions too. You're like, oh, they actually listen.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, as long as
Because it
you-
makes your job easier
It does,
if the
exactly.
customer gets what they want too. Like, hey, help, you know, and we want that to happen as well. Like, we want people to, because everybody is so different. Every different club, every
Yep.
different client that you have, it's
some
going to be
people
different
like Mylars,
roles.
some people
Yeah.
want jars.
That is really good. That tastes really good. What
This
that
is
one?
a Sense Golden Pear.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's a big disconnect between the brands and wanting to listen, because I think that a lot of people come into a lot of heart when they're making a brand, and it's really
It's
hard
for
to
them,
listen
exactly.
to
I know about their
consider like criticism, because it's hard to discern between criticism and like somebody just being hateful towards your brand. But I think that the one thing you can do is just look for the pattern. Like if you're hearing it more than once, if you're hearing it twice, you're hearing it.
Yeah.
And that's how I deal with it at my store, is that if somebody comes in once and complains about something, it's like, okay, whatever. But then it's 2, it's 3 times. Okay,
Yeah,
now it's
that's
a
it.
problem, and I nip it in the butt quick. But I see a lot of brands lacking in that ability to say, okay, like we've heard it enough. Like we need to fix it now before it affects our brand anymore, because customers, you know, for them to come in and spend $20, $30, $40, like you have to realize like that's a significant amount of money for them. And if your product is not making that standard for them, they feel very betrayed. Like I just spent my hard-earned dollar on you and you're not taking care of me, you know, like, and that's just something that I think brands need to kind of feel a little bit of. Like, you got to see it from the customer's perspective. Like they feel hurt now, like they feel betrayed, and you're just seeing it from the perspective of like, well, it's just, you know, it's whatever, it's just all I had, you know. And it's like, yeah, but then you have to knock it down from a price. You can't sell it at the same standard. You got to find another way to sell that, because if somebody's used to your brand being at a certain standard, that was something that was talked about at that thing that you were at a while ago, that panel that I thought was really good with what he said was that, it's like brand should have like a sub brand where it's like, this is just not meeting the standard of triple X. Like it's going to go on to triple Q now. It's a triple Q product, just so that they can move through it, but that they're not messing with that.
Yep. It's in the A's and the B's.
Yep. You got a B brand and an A brand.
Yeah.
So,
So, what do you think is the most rewarding part of what you do in
just doing some
your specific area? So, like the travel, the sales. What do you like the most about it?
I like the people I get to work with all the time. I love coming by the shops and just the love that I give comes back to me even threefold. So I freaking...
We like to see people come through the stores. Like, we love it. If we're carrying
this
your
whole
product.
Like, you gotta come through. Or else. Or like it else. And that's why I'm freaking everywhere all the time. I like all the shops at least once a month. Hey, here's some lumpia.
I know. I love it. I love trust me. Shout out to the reps that are getting out there and visiting their stores, because honestly, like it does go a long way, especially for us retail folks. Like we're kind of trapped a lot at stores and can't get out. And some of these brands that we've built relationships with through consistent sales, like we'd like to see you. We'd like to see somebody we could talk to.
I love seeing everybody.
Consistency is super important too. So if we run out of something or it's out of stock, and it's our fault as the store that even if the brand does not have it inside, it is our fault that this is not there for them and they want to buy it.
100%.
So having, making sure you have your menu, make sure you have your things in stock. It's super important, and that consistency is something that we value a lot.
Yeah,
when it comes to the brands and the sales.
Do you think that there's a really hard part of your job that like is just the toughest part of your job, other than the driving?
Spreading myself super thin. Yeah. Yeah. If I have to be, everywhere all the time, it is, along with doing all my admin work too, it is a lot. So, that's probably the least sucky. Yeah, where I just have to find my balance of how to be everywhere all the time, but also have my time for my friends and my family and myself.
I got an off-the-wall question for you. Has there been a strain that's come out that you recently worked with, like in sales, where you were like really surprised at how fast it sold out? Like you were like, whoa, everybody's trying to buy this. Why? All of a sudden, like what's going on? Has there been anything recently that's...
I feel like we know which ones are going to like fly.
Oh, you do? You already like predict? Okay.
That's why I'm like, gotta get on this now.
Before it sells out.
Because it's going to sell out. I know. And that's why I try to tell you.
You got that early menu. You got to click that early menu.
I'm not kidding.
No, I've learned that I can appreciate about that about up north is that they have that menu that like uploads on itself on a pretty. It probably updates every like daily-ish, and it's really handy because like if you're looking for something, you can just get on there every day, and like check it and be like, oh, it's there. Can I order it, please? I'll have it delivered in 2 weeks though.
But I have a great support staff that sends them. I mean, like they redo the menu every day.
Yeah,
I send them the orders.
You think that's important? Are there certain qualities of a distribution as a sales rep that you would think would be important to like look for? Like if you were younger, you going back. I mean, I think you landed really luckily with the company you're at, but are there things that maybe you've seen with other distros that you see with the one you're with that maybe you're like, yeah, I'm glad I'm with these guys because this could be really tough to be a sales rep that way?
I think for any company, you'd like to see that people have been there for a while.
Okay.
And with up north, people were there for like 4 or 5 years already. what stayed with the company. So I do was if you're going, especially in our industry, which is sad, but that's how it is.
It takes years to find out and just observe and watch.
Or they don't last that long, especially as sales reps. And
Yeah.
I've worked for Up North for 3 years now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's excellent. I would agree. There can be a lot of overturn in the cannabis space for sure, and they can either be for management reasons or just the company lets people go. I think that's the hardest thing that you've made it through out of all the years that I've been a buyer is you've been able to keep your job. I've seen a lot of reps just hit me up one day and I'm like, hey man, I haven't seen you. And they're like, yeah, they just kind of cut us one day. And you're like, oh, shoot. Okay. Well, who are you with now? They're like, well, I'm at this new brand now. Like, you're like, okay, cool. I'll take a look at it. But I think that you've been very blessed and worked very hard to maintain your position there because, yeah, like I said, people, shit goes down that you can't even predict. Like you said about Ease. How many people have had long-term jobs with that company? Long-term jobs that are now just like out of work.
Yep.
Harborside, same thing. Like that's another
crazy one. Yeah. It's just, it's hard out here.
I think what it is back to that patience over profits. I was thinking about it. Is like, it kind of feels like there's people that are cannabis community. We'll just say people in the cannabis space that like start brands and then they need that capital, right? Yeah. And if you get with the wrong shareholders that maybe have the intentions of like, I don't see longevity in this. I just see like, I need profit because it's like this new industry and they don't get it. It's almost like they find a way to like board member the people out that like actually started it, that would resist it. And they just start just draining it. Like and that's kind of like the Harborside article that I read about. Their thing is like they pushed the brothers out and then the shareholders they just started draining it basically. And it's like, that's so crazy. Like how that can happen, just you've started. I mean, that's like your whole life into something. And then just people one day are just like, you're out.
Well, just putting more people, on top of what you're doing. Like, do you need, it depends on the direction that you're going, but, you couldn't predict anything. Everything was happening real time.
Yeah.
And we thought that we'd be publicly traded companies and
I know I have stock in their thing on E-Trader. I have stock in Harborside. And it was, I bought it when it was like 75 cents and then it went up to like $1.25 and I was like, okay, cool. We're like doing something. And then all of a sudden it was just like, and I think it's like 19 cents right now. I didn't have much money in it. I think I had like $100 in it. It's not much, but I was like, I was like, oh, I've got the insider. No, they're going to make it. No, not at all.
It's that's why it's rare if it's grower owned, which is Fig Farms is grower owned, Sense is grower owned.
Yeah. Right. And they've all done a good job like growing as a brand, I think, especially Fig particularly. They've done an incredible job growing because they're in multi-states now and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot to maintain. I can imagine what that's like. Do you think you would ever transition into like becoming a sales rep outside of California? Like go to another state?
Yes, that would be dope. Please hire me. I would be down.
It's like you got your bags packed.
You know what I mean?
Where am I going?
She's like, yeah. She's like, I'll go to Arizona, no problem. That's funny.
That's Central Valley.
Yeah, right?
Just kidding.
Tucson, here I come.
For real. But that would just be so cool to see the different markets in different states.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do like seeing different diversity.
I feel like you'd be you would come in like I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was gonna say you'd come in like a first string like football player though. You'd probably slay the rest of the market, so
for California, let's see. Coming all nice.
When you move to, it's like you have that drive, you have that passion. Like I'm here for a reason.
No distractions.
Yeah.
Yep. And I was in education. I would tell kids all the time, like, if you are doing something, go fucking full at it. Like, you know what I mean? Go out with all your heart. And so, why not? And then you won't feel bad about anything you do if you just are always going to the fullest.
I feel like that's why it's great to for people to come together and to like make really good friendships with each other in the industry, because I had to sacrifice a lot, like I had to say no to a lot. Like I don't do a lot of things to, like everything I do is wellness, but like I don't do things for entertainment. I don't go just to have fun. I have fun while I'm working and like make that happen with my friends that I all, go and smoke with, and it's valuable to know what the weed tastes like and the QC and to quality control everything, and everything's always on point. And that's the part that I love about it too, is just hanging with my friends and going in the sesh
and
so
sharing and carrying.
Yes.
Yeah,
thank you for seshing with us, and thank you for being on the
course.
podcast, CP.
You guys, for real, you guys are such amazing people, like knowledge-wise and heart-wise as well.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with the world, CP, that you feel like the world needs to know?
Fuck around and find out.
Okay,
That's CP's find out.
CP's life life quote. I'll have to get her a T-shirt now. So, well, thank you for being a guest with us, and thank all of you for tuning in to the second, or I guess third episode. Sorry, it'll be second or third. We'll see where we land with that other episode. But either way, we appreciate you guys tuning in today and watching us talk. I've smoked too much weed. I'm not going to even lie, folks. But once again, thank you. I hope all of you guys have a great evening or night or day, wherever you're coming from. And make sure to follow us at SHESELLSWEED on Instagram, YouTube. We're going to be on Apple. We're going to be on Spotify. You can follow us anywhere you like to listen. Or if you want to watch us, you can also watch us on YouTube. We also may do some lives in the future, so get ready to subscribe and tune in for that. And we will catch you on the next time. Thank you, CP. Bye.